She was only supposed to fix his armor. A routine check, a simple patch job before the next patrol. But when the alien commander leaned closer, too close, his eyes caught something he wasn't meant to see, a small mark. A faded seal on her wrist, Earthborn, in a galaxy where humans were supposed to be extinct. That symbol wasn't just dangerous. It was impossible. And for one heartbeat, the entire war-torn hangar fell silent. What was she hiding, and why did he suddenly look afraid of her? If stories like this spark your curiosity, go ahead and tap like it helps more than you think. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe so you never miss the next HFY twist. Share this with someone who loves humans surprising the galaxy. Alright, let's break down what's coming. The hangar was always loud, thrusters humming, tools clattering, soldiers shouting across metal floors. But when she stepped up to his armor stand, something felt different. The alien commander, Valor, usually kept a precise distance from every technician, respectful, professional, predictable. Not today. He watched her hands the moment she powered up the diagnostic torch, almost like he was studying the way she moved, not the armor itself. The plating was cracked from a plasma hit, nothing unusual in a war this messy. She leaned closer, brushing dust from the seam, and that's when the cuff of her sleeve slipped. Just a second, barely a breath, but enough for the seal on her wrist to show. A tiny circle, faded blue, almost forgotten. Valor froze. His pupils tightened like a camera shutter. The torch hummed between them, its light flickering across jagged metal, but somehow the room felt darker. Humans weren't supposed to have symbols like that anymore. Actually, humans weren't supposed to exist at all. So why did she? And why did this towering alien-armored, battle-scarred, unshakable look like he had just seen a ghost wearing a mechanic's uniform? He didn't speak at first. Didn't even blink? Just stared at the seal as if it were a weapon pointed at his chest. She tried to tug her sleeve back down casually, pretending nothing had happened, but his eyes followed the motion with sharp precision. "Where did you get that?" Valor's voice was low, almost too calm. The kind of calm that comes right before something breaks. She swallowed. "It's just an old mark." "From home, home," he repeated, like the word was fragile, dangerous. "What world?" She hesitated. Because every time she answered that question, people reacted strangely: fear, pity, confusion. Never interest, never this intensity. "Earth," she said softly. The metal floor vibrated under their feet as a dropship launched nearby, but Valor didn't seem to hear it. His breath shifted, slow but unsteady, almost human in its weight. "That world burned," he whispered. "Your people, your kind, were never supposed to survive?" Her chest tightened. She had heard rumors, stories, whispers about the fall, but nothing concrete. "Nothing like this? Then someone lied," she said. Valor finally exhaled, but it sounded like a man stepping into a storm. Valor stepped back as if giving himself space to think or to run. She couldn't tell which, and that uncertainty pressed on her ribs. He was a commander, a veteran of 3 campaigns, a warrior whose name alone made recruits stand straighter. But right now, he looked like someone trying to solve a puzzle that shouldn't exist. "You shouldn't say that name out loud," he murmured. "Earth?" she asked. "Why?" "It's just where I was born." He lowered his voice even further. "Because in half the galaxy saying it is like setting off a distress beacon?" "Or a threat," her heart thudded. "A threat to who?" "To everyone," Valor said. He gestured toward the cracked armor she still hadn't finished repairing. "Do you know why this plating fails so easily?" "Because it was designed out of fear. Not fear of plasma fire or artillery." His eyes found hers. "Fear of humans." That made her laugh nervously, unsure. "Fear of us? Of me?" He didn't smile. "Your species changed the course of galactic history once. The High Council swore it would never happen again." A chill slid through her. She had grown up feeling out of place, but she thought that was just life, never this. Never a secret buried under her skin. She steadied her breath, trying to make sense of the weight behind his words. "What did humans do that was so terrible?" Valor shook his head slowly. "Terrible? No. That's the part the galaxy never understood." He glanced around the hangar, ensuring no one was close enough to hear. Humans weren't feared because they destroyed worlds. They were feared because they wouldn't break even when the universe tried to crush them. She frowned. That's not exactly a crime. To some leaders it was. His voice carried a quiet bitterness, like someone remembering a wound that never healed. Human adaptability, human defiance, those traits almost toppled an empire. Not through armies, through survival. Her pulse quickened. So they erased us? They tried. Vaylor's jaw tightened. Records were purged, colonies abandoned, survivors scattered so far that each thought they were alone. The Council wanted humanity to fade into myth. Her sleeve brushed her wrist again, and his eyes tracked the movement. "That seal," he said. "It's not decoration. It's a designation. It marks you as one of the original bloodlines." She stepped back. "That can't be true." "It is," Vaylor said. "And if anyone else sees it, you won't walk out of this hangar." The air tasted sharp, metallic. She hadn't moved since his warning, as if any motion might set off an alarm she couldn't hear. Vaylor, usually composed to the point of being unreadable, looked like a soldier debating whether to shield her or drag her somewhere safer before someone else noticed. "You said survivors were scattered," she murmured. "But why hide the truth from us? Why keep us ignorant?" Vaylor folded his arms, but it wasn't a stance of authority. It was defensive, protective, because if humans discovered what they really were, the Council feared the cycle would restart. What cycle? He exhaled heavily. When pressured, humans evolve. When cornered, they innovate. When threatened, they become something the rest of the galaxy can't predict or control. She shook her head. "That sounds exaggerated." "Is it?" he asked quietly. "Your ancestors adapted to radiation storms, gravity shifts, biological plagues. Other species needed labs. Humans survived on instinct." He paused, studying her like she was a relic that had suddenly started breathing. "But that's not the part they feared most." Her pulse skipped. "Then what?" "The way humans inspire others," he said. "When you fight, others rise with you. Empires fall that way." A chill crawled down her spine as his meaning settled. Her people weren't erased because they were monsters. They were erased because they made everyone else remember they didn't have to obey. Vaylor paced once, then twice, the way a soldier does when every option is dangerous. His armor clicked softly with each step, the cracked plating she was supposed to fix still hanging open like a wound neither of them could ignore. "If I report you," he said quietly, "the Council will seize you within the hour. You'll disappear into a research vault so deep even I want to know where they took you." Her stomach dropped. "And if you don't?" He stopped walking. "That's the problem," he murmured. "If I protect you, I defy direct orders. I risk my command, my people, everything." She stepped closer, not sure why. Maybe because, for the first time, she saw fear in someone who was supposed to be fearless. "Why does it matter this much to you?" Vaylor hesitated. "Because I fought in the border campaigns. I saw what the Council did to those who resisted. And I learned something." His voice lowered. "Humans weren't the danger. The fear of humans was." She blinked slowly. "So what are you going to do?" Vaylor lifted his chin, eyes steady with a decision he'd been fighting since the moment he saw her wrist. "I'm choosing you," he said. "And whatever storm follows, we face it together." The storm arrived faster than either of them expected. Alerts rippled through the hangar, voices rising, boots pounding, engines grinding awake. Someone had noticed the commander's hesitation, or maybe someone had simply seen too much. But the tension in the air felt different now, charged, like the moment before lightning strikes. Vaylor grabbed her arm not roughly, but with urgency. "Listen. Once this rumor spreads, the Council won't be able to hide what you are anymore. And when the galaxy learns a human survived?" He shook his head. "Everything shifts." She felt the weight of that truth pressing on her ribs. "I'm just one person." "That's exactly why they're afraid," he said. "Humanity doesn't need numbers. One spark can ignite an uprising." The hangar doors thundered open. Soldiers rushed in, scanning faces, weapons ready. Vaylor stepped between her and the incoming squad, shoulders squared, voice like steel. "She's under my protection." Gasps, confusion, fear, because a commander defying the council was unheard of, and doing it for a human, unthinkable. But in that suspended moment, something ancient stirred, an echo carried across worlds. The idea that humans weren't victims of history, but authors of it. She wasn't hiding anymore, and the galaxy was finally out of places to run.